All right, thanks, guys. The Magic take on the Lakers. That is a 3:30 Eastern tip-off in Los Angeles. Now, the betting opened up with the Lakers as the 9-point favorite, and the total at 217.5. And since those markets opened this one up, we're actually seeing a slight fade of the Lakers and movement toward the over. Right now, Los Angeles is -8. The total moving upward to 218.5. So once again, Los Angeles opened up 9, now 8. Total open 217.5 up to 218 and a hook. 53% are leaning Los Angeles now. 69% are shaded toward the over. And at the moment, Orlando is plus 290 for some money line cash. Now, this Orlando defense is giving up just 106 points per contest on the road. Their opponents are also shooting just 44% from the field. Meanwhile, Orlando's successfully covered the number in 4 out of their last 5 matchups. 4-1 ATS in their last 5, taking on the Lakers as well. And speaking of the Lakers, they're giving up 115 points per contest at the Staples Center. They've also failed to cover in 6 out of their last 9 at home. And scoring-wise, we're looking at 7-11 to the over for LA, just 3-6 to the over in their games at home. So with all that said and done, I'm going to lean toward Orlando plus 8 and the under 218.5. And before we get into any more of those NBA lines and personal leans, I just want to take a quick time out and welcome you to the show. Got some lines and personal leans out for Sunday's NBA action. We also have action in college basketball and the NHL. But before we get into some more of that, I just want to quickly remind you to check me out at patreon.com/BrockPage. And with a documented record of 8-2-1 in my last 11 daily best plays, you'd certainly be hitting at 80% over the past week and a half if you were subscribed to that channel. Now, memberships begin at just $1.99 per month. There's also plenty of free content there as well. So once again, please feel free to just hit that pause button right now. Open up your browser. All you got to do is type in patreon.com/BrockPage. It'll only take you a few seconds. The link is in the description section below. And if you are a current patron of mine and you're currently watching me right now, I simply cannot thank you enough. You most certainly make it all worth it. With all that said and done, let's go ahead and slide back into some more lines of personal leans for NBA, college basketball, and NHL. We're going to finish up with the NBA here. All starts for all sports are Eastern Standard Time. And on deck, we've got Suns, Pistons, 4 o'clock tip-off in Detroit. The Pistons open the betting as the 8.5-point favorite, and the total at 217 and a hook. And since those markets opened this one up, not a whole lot of movement here on the spread, half a point here or there. But right now we're still at that 8.5 number, although we are seeing movement upward on the total. So once again, Detroit opened 8.5, still 8.5. Total open 217 and a hook, up to 219 even. Detroit's -350 for some money line cash, and Phoenix is plus 310 for an outright upset when 53% are leaning Detroit, 78% shaded toward the over. And at the moment, Detroit 6-1 against the spread in their last 7. They're also 11-1 ATS in their last 12, taking on Phoenix. If you're into historical figures there, really doing a good job against the number against Phoenix over the past couple of seasons. Now, this Pistons offense is scoring 111 points per contest. They're also 5-3 straight up in their games at home. Meanwhile, on the other side, completely different story, as Phoenix is scoring just 104 points per game. They've also lost 8 out of their last 9 straight up away from home. And scoring-wise, we're looking at 5-4 to the over in Phoenix's games away from home. 5-4 to the over in Phoenix's last 9 games away from home. They're also 5-2 to the over in their last 7 away from home as well. So with all that said and done, I'm going to lean Detroit -8 after buying the half a point and the over 219 in this one. All right, next game, Hornets, Hawks, 6 o'clock. Charlotte opened the betting as the 8-point favorite, total 230.5. Since those markets opened this one up, a little movement here or there, but we're right back at these opening lines originally. So once again, Charlotte is -8, totals at 230 and a hook. Atlanta's -335 for some money line cash, and Charlotte is +270 for an upset. 61% are leaning Charlotte, 76% shaded toward the under. And if you take a look at the trends, Atlanta's just 7-12 ATS overall. Their defense is allowing 118 points per contest on their home court. Atlanta's just 2-7 straight up on their home court. They've also failed to cover in 7 out of their last 9 games at home as well. Meanwhile, on the Charlotte side of things, they're scoring 115 points per contest. They're also 6-3 against the spread away from home. And scoring-wise, we're looking at 6-3 to the under in Charlotte's last 9 away from home. So with all that said and done, give me Charlotte -8 in the under, 230.5 in this one. Next game, Knicks, Grizzlies. That's on the other side. 6 o'clock Eastern tip-off in Memphis. The Grizzlies open the betting as the 8-point favorite, and the total at 207 and a hook. Since those markets opened this one up, we're seeing a little bit of movement toward the over. We're still at -8 for Memphis, but the total opened at 207.5 up to 208 even. And at the moment, the Grizz are -350 for some money line cash. Now, Memphis is 12-6 ATS overall for the season. They successfully covered the number in 7 out of their last 8 at home. Meanwhile, on the other side, the Knicks are just 4-6 against the spread as the official road underdog. They've also lost 6 out of their last 8 ball games straight up. Now, scoring-wise, both squads are 2-1 to the over in their last 3 matchups. Give me the Memphis Grizzlies -8 and the over, 208 in this one. All right, next game, Sixers-Nets. I actually don't think I have anything for that. No, I don't. How did I miss that one? Sixers. Oh, there's no line for that game right now. Sixers-Nets, that is a 6 o'clock tip-off. I don't have any line for that game right now. Those lines are pending. Should be released by 11:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time there. Sixers at the Nets, 6 o'clock Eastern tip-off. All right, next game, Heat, Raptors. 6 o'clock tip-off there as well. Toronto opened the betting as the 11.5-point favorite, and the total at 218 and a hook. Since those markets opened this one up, not a whole lot of movement on the total, although we are seeing slight movement on the spread. Toronto's now -12 with the total remaining at 218.5. So once again, Toronto opened 11.5 up to 12. Total opened and remains at 218 and a hook. And at the moment, the Raptors are -830. For some money line cash. Now, Toronto is 6-1 against the spread, taking on sub-500 teams this year. Meanwhile, Miami's just 7-11 against the spread overall, just 2-4 ATS, catching the points. And total-wise, Toronto's 8-2 to the over in their games at home. They're also 75% to the over in their games at the current posted total. So with all that said and done, I'm going to lean Toronto -12 in the over, 218.5 in that one. All right, next game, Jazz Kings, and that is another one that I don't have a line on. I don't have a line on that game, so we should see a line for that game being released at 11:30 at least. 11:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Now, what I do have is some lines for this next game, and that's going to be my next and final game for the show in the NBA, although we do have some college basketball leans and some more NHL leans coming up in just a short while. But anyway, our next and final game for our NBA slate is the Clippers at the Blazers, 9 o'clock Eastern tip-off in Portland. The Blazers open the betting as the 4-point favorite, and the total at 227.5. And since those markets opened this one up, we're seeing downward movement on the total. Once again, Portland opened and remains at -4, but the total opened at 227.5 all the way down to 226 even. When it comes to the money line, Portland is -$1.75 for an outright win. Now, Portland 7-2 against the spread in their games on their home court. They've also successfully covered the number in 8 out of their last 11 when laying the points. Meanwhile, on the other side of things, completely different story, as the Clippers failed to cover in 5 out of their last 8, catching the points. They're also covering 20% of their games as the official road underdog. Now, scoring-wise, the Clippers are 12-6 to the over, 6-3 to the over in their games away from home. So with all that said and done, I'm going to lean toward Portland -4 and the over, 226 in this one. All right, Got a couple leans in college basketball as well. I don't have any of these queued up here. There's a couple games with no lines, especially this Villanova-Florida State game. That was a game of interest, but I didn't see any lines for that. But anyway, a couple games, we'll just rip through them real quick. Drexel at Bowling Green, 3 o'clock Eastern tip-off. Bowling Green's minus 6.5. Total was 152.5 down to 151 and a hook. I do like Drexel plus 7 after buying the half a point, and the over 151.5 in that one. Another game of interest is Rice at Wichita State. Wichita State is minus 15. That's at 3 o'clock Eastern tip-off there as well. Once again, Wichita State is minus 15. Totals at 153. I do like Rice getting the job done against the number, catching the 15. Give me Rice plus 15, but I also like the over 153 in that one. Next game, Oregon State at Long Beach. That's a 5 o'clock tip-off there. Oregon State opened 7.5, total at 146. Since those markets opened that one up, we're seeing movement on both the spread and the total. Oregon State's now minus 8, with the total moving downward to 145. So once again, Oregon State opened 7.5, up to 8. Total open 146, down to 145. I like Oregon State minus 8. Getting the job done against the number, and the under 145 in that one. And then my next and final lean for college basketball is Purdue-Fort Wayne at Cleveland State, 5 o'clock tip-off. IPFW is minus 4.5, totals 153. I like Cleveland plus 5 after buying the half a point, and the over 153 in that one. All right. Let's slide into some NHL hockey. We got a modified slate there as well, very short slate. So we're going to start off with the Calgary Flames at the Arizona Coyotes. 3 o'clock puck drop in Arizona. Calgary opened the betting as the $1.25 favorite, total at 5.5. And since those markets opened this one up, not a whole lot of movement here. Calgary's still $1.25. Total remains at 5.5. Calgary's 3-1 straight up in their last 4. They're winning 73% of their games where Rittich makes the start. He is the probable today, although things change quickly in the NHL. But once again, they're 73% when Rittich makes the start. Meanwhile, on the other side, Arizona is winning just 33% of their games at the current price point. They've also lost 7 out of their last 11 when Kemper makes the start. Now, total-wise, Calgary's 10-2 to the under in their games on the road. Meanwhile, Arizona's 75% to the under, taking on winning teams. So with all that said and done, I'm going to make the chalky play in this one. Give me Calgary minus $1.25 and the under 5.5 in this one. All right, next game, Devils Lightning, 7 o'clock puck drop in Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay opened the betting as the $2.10 favorite, total at 6. And since those markets opened this one up, we've actually seen a 30-cent fade of Tampa Bay in the early going here. Pretty high price point. No real surprise there, even though Tampa Bay is very good. No real surprise to see a 30-cent fade there because that price point was incredibly expensive. A lot of people hopping on New Jersey, catching the plus money. But anyway, Tampa Bay opened $2.10 down to $1.80. Total remains at 6. Now New Jersey's just winning 27% of their games on the road. Meanwhile, Tampa's 9-3 straight up on their home ice. They're a perfect 5-0 straight up in their games at the current moneyline price. Now, scoring-wise, New Jersey is 7-3 to the over on the road. It looks like 7-3-1 to the over in their games on the road. Meanwhile, Tampa's 67% to the over when Domingue makes the start. So with all that said and done, I got to make the puck line play in this one. Give me Tampa Bay laying the 1.5 for some puck line cash and the over 6 goals in that one. All right, next game, Anaheim at Nashville. 8 o'clock puck drop in the Music City. Nashville opened the betting as the $2.40 favorite, total at 5.5. Not a whole lot of movement in this one. A slight nickel fade of Nashville. They opened 240 down to 235. Total remains at 5.5. Nashville is 8-3 straight up at home. They're also winning 71% of their games as the favorite. 71% of their games as the favorite. Meanwhile, on the other side, Anaheim's just 5-10 straight up as the dog, catching the plus money. They're also winning just 25% of their games as the official road underdog. And scoring-wise, we're looking at an Anaheim team who's just 33% to the over overall for the year. They're also just 33% to the over in their games away from home. So with all that said and done, got to make another very chalky play on a home team. a very distinct home favorite. Give me Nashville -1.5 on the puck line and the under 5.5 goals in this one. That's a very tough play there. That's a tough combination of bets there. But anyway, next and final game for the show, it is going to be Edmonton, LA. I'm going to save yourself some time. I like LA plus $1.10, catching the plus money in the over 5.5 goals in that one. All right, folks, that is going to do it for me. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to check me out at patreon.com/BrockPage.